Like, how did you do that? Because personally, before I even talk personally, when I got admission, they gave me microbiology. I called my dad and say, Popsy, you know as me mathematics be. Let me change back to education. My father said, God forbid. In first son, you must wear lab coats. You get? So how did you do it, MBJ?
Yeah, so...
How did you choose your career path and all of that? Let's be honest. Everybody listening to this episode, one way or the other, has made one or two mistakes that they cannot reverse. Is it that red flag in that relationship? Is it that job choice you made that honestly you can't go back now because of one where you want to see job from? We're talking about surviving bad decision. And it happened to the most of us, not just the foolish ones, even the most ambitious ones. And on this episode, I have somebody that is, interesting, not just a regular Nigeria. He's a dancer. He's an actor, both on stage and on screen. Trust me, you guys, I don't want to overly hype this person because I've known him for a while and I've watched him navigate life spiritually, physically, and for some weird reason, I think there's more to this person, and that's why I have him on this show. And we're talking surviving bad decision on Big Sam Voice. On today's episode, I have my brother, my friend, my fellow Zaria homie, Favour O BJ. What's going on, Favour?
Hi, G.
Welcome to Big Sam Voice.
Thank you so much. I'm glad and excited to be here.
It's your first time on the show.
Very first. And I love the hospitality and the warmness here.
Thank you very much for that compliment. I will take that. It's a safe space. It's Big Sam Voice, where we pour out our hearts, vulnerability. We tell young Nigerians that whatever you're going through, no matter the case, is something that will come and will go. Just the way it came, rather, is the same way to live. If you're confused on how to take the next chapter, come and watch my show because my life is that life. I've taken steps that I've regretted. I've taken those that I'm proud of. You get? And I'll start with the very, very first question for you, Omi. In fact, let me break the iceberg. What's one decision in life that made you say, God, I beg, why did I do this? Like, what's the first bad decision you made as a young man trying to figure out life?
As a young man trying to figure out life, one of the bad decisions I made was doing drugs.
Doing drugs?
Yeah.
Talk to me, bro.
Drugs and basically drugs. So you see, one thing, how I got to realize that it was a bad decision was not because of the outcome of what I was doing. It became because of the awareness of what I was doing. So I was not one of those people that did drugs and were crazy around town, mad, or drunk and was drunk. No. But I mean, for very, very strange reasons, drinking, being on drugs, I got to realize that I was still in control and I could literally control people and say, see, you didn't take as much as I did, but just calm down. And for me, I was just thought about the health benefits. I imagined that if I'm taking so much dosage, how in the long run, how will this affect me? So that was one decision that I chose to stop, because I remember one time I was coming down the road and one of our old friends, because I was not doing it too much, but one of our friends that time just saw me and said, you don't turn, what was the word he used? Is it junkie? I don't know.
Wow.
So that's surprising because I wasn't dressing bad. I wasn't misbehaving, but for some reason you can see the change in people when they reach that state, and that's a bad decision that I had to retrace my step from.
It's funny how I am laughing because I wrote something here, and I'll read it out for you guys to hear. Sometimes the wrong decision becomes the teacher the right decision need.
Yeah.
You get? A lot of us move through life very, very nonchalantly. And like Omi said, I feel like every young Nigeria come to a place in life where he has to choose to join them or not join them. When Omi says drugs, it's not talking about cocaine and all of that. Most likely marijuana.
Yeah, and
Most likely alcohol.
Yeah, drugs, and we had all those other Refnol,
and all of that. You tried all of those stuff.
Yeah.
So I got to the point in life that all of those stuff came as well, but I was so scared to take those steps.
Yeah, no, I tried them, and that time we didn't have all we had now.
Mm-hmm.
Those were the top dogs, the top things there, and I did it. I remember doing one drug. And, taking a retrospect, you wonder, why did you do this? Because that drug literally makes you forget. So we can be having these conversations, and if you're on the drug and I'm on the drug, we can both forget what we're saying at the same time.
At the same time?
Yeah.
What a sin.
I don't want to call the name of drug so that it doesn't mean like we're promoting any drug.
Yeah.
But at the same time, and for some reasons, that's where you get the hype from the drug. Like, you've forgotten what. Yeah,
that's the word.
So, yeah. Yes, that's the word you skipped. Yeah, so that was like the high point for it. So, it's a good thing that we got to retrace our steps, and I got to engage in this because you see now, I have so much knowledge and wisdom from this that it's easy for me to pull people out of this. So when I see a young man, a young lady, whoever that is engaging in this, I can analyze the person's life. I say, this is what you're going through. This is what's happening. This is how it's going. This is how it will end. And it's easy for people to relate when they know that you have something in common for them. It must not always be so, but when it's that case, there's usually an emotional connecting point for them, and you can help people.
Favour, we have a drug pandemic right now in Nigeria.
Oh yes.
And I'm tired of hearing people talking about the effects and this and that. Nobody's telling us how to get out of this. Therapy is expensive. Rehab can be expensive, but let's not just gonna keep your child where it's going to become worse.
Yeah.
Because this is Nigeria. My question is this, Ome. I want you to break it down as explanatory as possible. Because if you tell me, Sammy, how did you stop stammering? I'll tell you, I took 5 steps. The first step is what? I took my phone because I didn't know where else to go to. And I went on my alarm system. I wrote a reminder, talk slow. Every 1 hour it comes up. So I can be talking fast and then it beeps and then I chill. So it's a step-by-step guideline in case any other person wants to overcome that sort of issue. So my question to you now, Ome, is how did you do it?
Okay. That's a very beautiful question. So, there are different stages for this thing now. I remember being in one of my friend's birthday, and I saw one of our old friends there, and this years ago, and it was even in Zaria, and this guy just popped a bottle of one of these
those bottle
yes, one of these drugs. And I've known this guy. I mean, way back from secondary school, he has been doing this thing way back
from secondary school.
Yeah, from secondary school. In fact, he was the one that had brought to my notice that I'm changing. And I asked him a question. And sometimes people that do these things are very, very honest people.
Yes.
I said, I called his name and I was like, what do you still get from taking this thing at this point? You know why? Because your body is built different. Your body is built in a way that it can be able to tolerate, adapt to these drugs and everything. So the effect it used to have on you
is lesser. So you look for a stronger version.
And I asked him, why do you still take this drug? And he went out. He said, bro, it's just addiction.
It's a way of life.
It's addiction right now. It's addiction. That's just it. So now for people that want to stop drugs, sometimes you need to understand that what is causing that drug fuse or that craving, it is actually outside the drug. Sometimes, and most times, it's peer pressure. Sometimes it's emotional imbalance. family problems, relationship issues, and it gives them that space to be able to escape reality. And one thing I'm going to say is that human beings are higher beings, and so they are built to chase higher things, not just like the normal thing. It's like a calling, like a beckoning that, I'm here and I know I can get to this place, and they want to achieve it. However, some people do it through exercise, some people do it through whatever means, but some people have found solace that, this is an escape for me, so I will engage in drugs, and they try it once. Some people are lucky, I would say. They don't get hooked. Yeah, they don't get hooked. And sometimes these things are personality traits. Some people are not lucky, they get hooked on it. So how do you escape this? Number one is your friends. Your friends.
You see that is very detailed. Yeah, there's no your friends.
Yeah, your friends. I was telling someone, I said, when you want to change your life, you start changing yourself by how you think. Invariably, it will affect the people that stay around you. And then the people that stay around you, your language changes. So you think your language changes, and then the people around you changes.
Sure.
So if you can eliminate those gaps in your lives, those people that are enablers for those substances, I mean, like, half of your problems have been solved. I follow someone who says that if you check around you and you see 3 foolish friends, he said you didn't check well, you didn't count well. They are actually 4
foolish men.
You forgot to count yourself. So sometimes what you need to do is to change your belief systems, change how you talk, then change who you work with. It will go a long way to solving that problem. In fact, it's just like a cheat code. Before you want to start solving all those emotional things, I want to check my clarity. I want to check what's really going on with me and all that, And we're not even going spiritually here, because sometimes these things are just spiritually amplified. Yeah, they are amplified spiritually. So if you want to go that route, you see that there are certain things you have to put in check in your own spiritual life to help you. So these are just some of the steps you can use.
We are not talking about drugs per se in this episode. We're talking surviving bad decision. And Favour O, BJ, my very good friend here, stated that one choice he made growing up as a young man that is a bad decision is indulging drug. And when I say indulging drug, I mean the usual thing you guys do on the streets of Nigeria or Cape Town, South Africa, Joburg, wherever you are listening to me from. And something struck me because he spoke about the triggers that push people to do this, and he spoke about family, peer pressure, and yada yada. Personally, as a young child, I grew up in a very weird way. No uncles, no aunties. Rather, it's not like they are dead, no connection with them, with family only, no aunties. So it was just me, the first son, 3 siblings, my father, that at that time, our relationship was not very strong. My mom, who was my best friend. Good relationship with mom. See, my sister were just cool people. We're not like we talk every day. I'm in my room. I'm always in my room. But with my dad, there's always this tension, back and forth. And I understand better now because I'm an adult. I know what my dad was going through at that time. I just did not understand because I was still a young boy. I was still in my should I say prime as a young man. I was just there, just making choices and not thinking about why what the effect of those choices. So it got to a point that I didn't like my father at all. If he's at home, I want to be outside. So family pressure can be a major factor, because one of the major reasons why I tried smoking at that time was because when I smoke, I escape reality, like you said. I come back home, my father talks, and I just sit down.
A state of ecstasy.
I just sit down, homie.
Yeah.
And it's weird because looking back, when you do drugs, it clears. For instance, now when you smoke, in like 5 hours, it clears. If you're trying to escape reality, you're back to reality. You want to go back on that drugs. And it's so unfortunate because that's where we find ourselves now. And conversation like this is quite needed.
Yeah.
We're talking bad decision and Favour my DJ. Yes. And it brings us to growing up in northern Nigeria. You're a dancer, Favour.
Yeah.
Not just any dancer, a very good dancer. He has traveled around Nigeria. Have you traveled to Nigeria?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Because trust me, look out for Ome. It's coming to your city, coming to Joburg, coming to the UK, coming to wherever the case is. So let's talk growing up in northern Nigeria and how you were able to choose this career choice. Because I know you grew up in a North, grounded family. Is literally, are you the last born?
Yeah.
He is the last born. And he chose to dance and act from a family that are all educated people.
Very educated, man.
Like, how did you do that? Because personally, before I even talk personally, when I got admission, they gave me microbiology. I called my dad and say, Popsy, you know as my mathematics be, let me change back to education. My father said, God forbid, in first son, you must wear lab coats. You get? So how did you do it, MBJ?
Yeah, so
how did you choose your career path and all of that?
I think I fell in love with dancing from primary school.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just had a glimpse of it. But then I wanted to pursue it at that stage. I think that we had one.
How long was that? Like, how old were you then?
I can't remember.
Early 20s?
No, it's primary school.
Primary school?
Yeah, I'm talking about primary school.
Okay.
Where I was very interested in it first.
Okay.
And I wanted to pursue it. Remember, there was this guy that came to the estate that time, AY.
Okay.
Yeah. So he came to the estate because there was a lady he was going after. And the lady brother is our friend. So he saw it as an opportunity. Okay, so why don't I gather these people and teach them dance? He was good, by the way, one of the best at that time. So I was interested. But I couldn't really follow it because for my own family, like for my brothers, they wanted me to focus more. They said, okay, do this thing when you're in secondary school. I got into secondary school and I was distracted. So I didn't really follow what I wanted to do. But now, here is it. At the tail end of leaving, I saw some guys at the basketball courts that in demonstration and they're dancing, and I was looking at them like, I want to do this. I joined them. So just as I was exiting demonstration, I started doing it. Now I tell people that I started dancing professionally 2014.
Okay.
Yeah, 2014 was when I started dancing professionally. It was not easy because I had to be very, very good at whatever I was doing in terms of academics and all that, so that it cannot be the premise where I won't do what I wanted to do. I wanted to pursue my dream. So I just followed. And you see, one thing I would say is that, you see, this vision and this occupation I engaged in, dance, was part of what really gave me a lot of discipline. Yeah. It took me off in the streets because when people had free time, you see, free time and idleness is a killer.
Yes.
And that's one thing people need to look out for. When it took me off being idle, because now I'm dancing professionally. Man, when I say I'm dancing professionally, is that I was giving myself to that skill. I was giving time, input, and hard work. Yeah. So when people were going out to play, just to hang around, I was going for rehearsals. And in my rehearsals, it was not just dance. We got to speak. And now, because it was a place of faith, you got to hear things on faith too. So it was priming you, it was cultivating your mindset and everything. So it gave me a lot of premise to be able to pursue it. Now, regardless of the struggles, don't go for rehearsal, you come back late, you have issues, your mom is, you don't go back again.
Normally.
Honestly, I won't lie, some of the times I just use that strong will. I'll still go, whatever the circumstances.
You face it.
Yeah, I'll still go. And so, but from that, and I won't blame our parents or whoever is stopping whoever from doing whatever he wants to do, because you actually have to show some level of determination and want of what you want.
You have to prove that this thing that you want.
Yes. So I showed that tenacity and consistency in what I wanted to do. Yeah, and I pursued it. So from there, I now chose, I was about to get into university.
Yeah.
I wanted to study law, but thank God you're from Zaria, so you know what
Those-
I'm about to explain. When I realized that law students were going to be in
Congo. That's another part of the school entirely. It was a distance.
And it was dry, very,
very boring environment.
Boring, I couldn't imagine myself being there. So I changed. I said, you know what? Let's do theater. I wanted to do psychology. That time, maybe we didn't have psychology
That's my course, by the
way. So I as a course. So I now went for theater and performing arts. Yeah. And that's it. Also, I think when I just got into ABU, that's
the zeal,
the
ginger.
I met very amazing people. I had good mentors that were helping me. So it catapults me into.
Talking about mentors, Ome, we grew up in the same environment in a very different way. How did you get your mentors? Because in a place like Zaria, trust me, 80% of Zaria kids are living life based on trial and error. I tried this, it doesn't work out, I try something else. And it makes a lot of sense to have somebody that have done life show you how life can be done.
Yeah.
For instance, there's somebody else follow that used to say, if you're going to somewhere, for instance, let me use a name that is popular. For instance, you're going to Lekki Phase 1 in Lagos, and you do not know the direction to Lekki Phase 1. You will just be wasting time moving around. But for instance, now you just go on Google Map and you put Lekki Phase 1. You get there faster, you get there, you know the expected time to get there. There's everything, there's alignments and all of that. My question is, how were you able to have these mentors in your life? Did you go out to look for these mentors, or did it just happen miraculously?
Okay, so for me, I think I saw people since it was dance first, I saw people who like modeled like being at the highest skill at that point, right? And because I joined a crew. So
you took a step first?
Yeah. I took a step because I joined the crew. In fact, I need to call the person's name.
Okay.
Because after I joined that crew, at some point, they were not so serious again. And then someone saw me, Sam D.
Okay.
Sam D was on
familiar
my
name. Ella's brother.
Yes, Ella's brother.
Zaya.
Sam D was on my case that, come and watch us. Come and watch our rehearsals. And they were rehearsing in school in Ahmadu Bello University on the rooftop. And I went there and he was like, I watched it. He was like, come and join us. I was indifferent, honestly. No need. And he kept pressing, okay, let me join. Now, as I was joining them, they were transiting. Now, TMF was coming into place.
Okay.
That was Dance Stripe. No, was it Dance? No, that was not even Dance Stripe. That was FYD.
Okay.
So now as I was stepping in, TMF was being formed. And what TMF did was a mixture of elite dancers. So people who were already skilled.
Yeah.
It was hand-selected. You couldn't join. You could only be chosen. So now this is it. And when you want to work with people and when you want mentors, here's where the story lies. They would fix rehearsals for 4 to 6. I would be there for 4 to 6. Nobody will be there.
Mm-hmm.
But what I did was I would use that time to rehearse. They will come by 6. And because 6 is when TMF rehearsal is starting, they would just move into the rehearsal. What did I do? After rehearsing for those hours, I simply would just hold their jam box, play for them, watch them.
And that's it.
Yeah. It kept on like that. Play their jam box, watch them. I never complained. Why didn't you come for rehearsal? I'm the only one that came. No. I used all the time I had to rehearse. Now, when I saw that this person was very good at what he was doing, I began to follow him. I said, okay, how can I come and learn? And he said, okay, come to my house. And I'll go to his house and he'll play me videos of non-stop, videos of glitch, videos of all these people I'm calling, you might not know them. They are dancers.
International dancer, yeah?
Yeah, they are dancers. And they are international dancers. So imagine I was in Zaria, but now, see, that's why mentorship is good. My reference would have been people in my immediate environment. But now the people that I was following were now showing me the reference they use. So he was telling me, okay, you see, there are different type of styles, different kinds of personality. What works with you best? If you want to learn this, learn it from this person. If you want to move like this, move with this person. And it honestly fast-tracked my growth very fast. So I kept on following from afar before we got close and before we got engaged. And let me just leave that story for another day. But the thing is that method works, because if you follow the right path, eventually I became the leader of that same of that same team. Yeah, I became the leader, and it's not a fluke. It's because I followed
intentionally took steps that brought you there.
Yes, and I obeyed other principles.
So good response, Favour. I think you've answered my next question, although I'm curious to ask, because you took these steps to make this pro dancer who obviously though he would have said no.
Yeah. But he had no in fact, he had no obligation to.
He would have said no.
Yes.
So if he had said no, what would he have done? For one Nigerian watching out there, because if he had said no, what would he have done?
No shouldn't be the end of the answer, because honestly, people will always say no. So you just keep doing the part you can do, play the part you can play until you meet those people. See, until you even meet the requirements to be mentored. Not everybody should be mentored, because not everybody is really ready for mentorship. You have to know what
they do. As an individual first.
Yes, and because mentorship is very delicate. I wouldn't want to be pouring out very valuable information, things that I suffered with sweat, pain, and I would just cast it at pigs. You know, there's saying that never cast pearls at pigs. They'll always trample on it. True. They'll always play with it.
True.
So, I mean, if you are ready for that, then the mentor will come.
Okay.
There's a saying that says, when the student is ready, the teacher will show.
Wow. Yeah. So, Sammy, you've not been ready all this while. Is that what you're saying?
Honestly, I'm telling you.
Because the thing is this, yeah. I actively start taking steps. I have older people in my life, of course, that are showing me one or two right now in the industry and all of that. And growing up, even post the Big Brother show, I was not sure exactly what I wanted to do. And I at this point, coming to this point right now, I realized I want to agree with you, because first day after the show, I was just watching. I had contact, I had network, but there was no value. There was no exchange of value. But the moment I started taking steps to becoming Sammy, the person I wanted to be, launched my business, started doing research, started using AI. This is just to grow my knowledge, to move from ignorance to what? Better understanding of whatever I want to do. I started knowing who to talk to. I started creating my own cycle. I started talking to people that have done what I wanted to do. Yeah. It might not be mentorship 100%, but they were pouring into me and I was receiving. So I kind of agree with what Ome is saying, which brings me to another question. Growing up in Zaria, I've always wanted to be an actor, make movies, have my own show like this, Big Sam Voice. If you're enjoying this episode, let me pause for a bit. Hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, because, come on, what's the point of watching this whole good vibes and you will not like my episode? Are they following you from a village? So please hit that like, subscribe, and watch out for my next episode. I was telling Omi that I've always wanted to be an actor, have my own movies, have my own show just like this, but I had a lot of issues. I was a stammerer. I was a full-time stammerer at that time. I had a bunch of other excesses that was just around. So one day I was talking to a friend and I told him, "Oh, this is not what I want to do. I said you stammering, my guy. This is not what I want to do. I want act. The guy looked he laughed at me. And I was not angry, but I was shut up. I didn't say anything for like years until I started taking these steps. And today I have my own show. I have all of this. My point is this. Did you ever doubt yourself because of people's opinion?
Yeah. I did.
Tell me about it.
I did, and for the fact that this is where we grew up.
Yeah.
So it's a unique environment.
True.
Growing up in the North is very unique because there's so much you can do because of the environmental construct, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I had I had someone who, when they invited us for a dance program, I already started working with that mentor, right? And the mentor was the person's leader. So the leader of the person that's reached out to me told me I could go for the dance. Like I could go and dance. And honestly, I really wasn't so good. Like I was just building. And this guy calls me and says, he heard that there's an invitation. I said, yes. I remember I told you that I was like the one actively rehearsing when I was not even in TMF.
Okay.
Yeah, and he goes ahead and says, I tell him that the leader said I could go there to represent them and dance there.
Okay.
And the person goes on the phone and says, represent them. What do I know how to do? What can I do? Can I dance? Yeah. And I was silent.
The answer to give, you're not sure what to say.
I didn't say anything because I'm like, okay. And then we end the call. Now the mentor, who is the person's leader, goes ahead to say, well, what? And I say, this person asked me, and was saying, what do I know how to do? And guess what? He just smiled and laughed. He didn't say anything. He didn't fault the person. He didn't
fault you.
So when we got to the event, the person came and said, no, I should go and dance. I said, no, go and dance. Man. Do you know when that person danced? Honestly, he did what I could never have done.
Okay.
He was good.
Okay.
He was good. Okay. But here now, this is where the thing lies. This is where the story lies. I made up my mind to work on myself. I was working on myself already, but I put in extra. Now, since we were all living in the same environment, if I saw you in Samaru, I would run back home to go and work, to go and rehearse.
Okay.
If I saw you playing football or just chilling, I would
go back and put in effort.
Yes. So if we rehearse together, when I go back, I will rehearse more. And here's the funny thing. When we came back to maybe just dance, the person was always better. Other people were always better.
And you're putting in so much work.
Yes. But they were still better. You couldn't deny. So you can forget to see that it's not about comparison. You are supposed to see how you are improving.
Your own growth process.
Yeah, so people will always look down on you and shut you down. But at the tail end, is that perseverance you take. Those things now, if you tell me I can't do something, it's for. Or, for example, you're talking about stammering. If I have some speech impediments, it's more reason why I should do what I think I should not do. Yes.
Break the limits.
Yes. No, seriously. Sometimes I say, okay, I'm acting or I'm not as fluent and eloquent as other people. It does. In fact, that's why I should do what I'm doing. I saw one video of a preacher, and he was what's the word they call them? He was a
apostle.
No. There's this condition, health condition.
Okay.
I've forgotten. He couldn't speak well. I've forgotten what they call them. Okay. What do they call these guys?
They couldn't speak well.
Yeah, they are like that. No, they are like that from birth. You give birth to them like that.
Down syndrome.
Down syndrome. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, boy, he's a preacher. And
I think I've seen this person on social media.
Exactly, and he goes ahead and says, "So, what's your own excuse?"
So,
what's your excuse?
There's one factor that is that is common in this conversation, which is what? Choice. You are making a choice. And you are sticking to a choice and principle. Personally, academic-wise, I was very, very in between. I was with the crowd from secondary school, and my father didn't get the best of education, but he wanted me to have the best. So even though there was not a lot, I went to the Massachusetts Secondary School. There was not a lot. I went to ABU Zaria.
Yeah.
I would have gone to Bomo. I would have gone to other smaller schools. You guys, I'm not saying those schools are not good schools. I'm saying I would have gone to other schools that the society kind of deemed not You get?
I will give you different experience.
Give me different experience. But I went to all these premium schools, and for some weird reason, I was not seeing doing well in school. And then it was a lot. I was trying to challenge my father as a first son, and he was challenging me as my father, and I was working so hard for his money. And it was looking like I was not doing well in school. I wrote JAM. I failed JAM. I felt I was too tall for university and for secondary school. And then I didn't want to go back to my secondary school. And then I applied for diploma. And then they gave me diploma in mathematics. It looks like it was zeal. But I was making choices that were wrong choices. I applied for my diploma and they gave me mathematics. I don't know mathematics, but I told myself I can do it. People who didn't get to head, brothers and sisters, they have to head. They get to head. I did mathematics, I failed. So I was that boy that, school-wise, they sup. And I was looking for a way out because it's not like I'm a dull boy. I communicate, I know how to read and understand. And then I made the choice to go back to school. I failed mathematics woefully. I had to go back to that same institute where I did mathematics to try another course. My juniors were my senior when I came back because I went back to what? The Diploma 1. There was shame. I went there. There was, what is he doing here? I still went there. I was looking for a way to manage it because I was still young. So I was lying back and forth, this, and all of that. But in all of this, struggled, finding a way to manage whatever I was going through. I made sure I read my book. I made sure I understood it. It was not mathematics. I read my first result came out. My father did not believe. When that result came out for that year, he went back to that institute to check by himself. And it's like,
Right.
But from where, how did it happen? Like from where I made a choice and I stuck to it. So making a choice can be can sound very, very normal right now, Omi. But if you don't make the right choice, it has its own default consequences.
But it's even better to make a bad decision than not to even make a decision at all. That's the worst state.
At all. I agree with you as well. Because all of these choices I've made brought me to where I am today. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to lie to you. And that brings us to the next segment, which is what career decision taught you the hardest lesson?
This career, I don't think I've not chosen any
career yet.
Yeah, aside from.
So you're still in a space where you're trying to, if I'm going to dance in might give me like $10 billion.
No. So here's it now. Here's what I realized that, and I tell people sometimes, I'm a dancer, but I'm more than a dancer, and I've been wanting to speak about this because dancers, they like that exclusivity. Dance is my life. I dance my life. All those, and this is because of the kind of efforts they put in, hard work they put in. But I've realized that I'm more than that.
There's more to
it's more
dancing.
It's more. I don't just dance. I told my friend that if I looked at one of my performances and I said, if you told me that I would be doing this kind of performances, I wouldn't have believed. Yes, because I would have thought I could only dance. And that's what I'm saying. Your environment sometimes and exposure is what limits you. So even as a dancer, there's a lot I can do. On the premise of dance, this is my career path. This is my master's is in this. This is what I studied. This is what I live on. This is how I do. I work. This is how I impact. I'm saying that I've not gone to say, let me do a 9 to 5, which is not bad. But I've said I've not gone to do it because this anybody that does works like this or choose career paths like this have to know that you have a lot to be a sacrifice because you have to build. You have to build yourself, your brand, your value, your relationship to a certain level where it can now really, really benefit you. So aside dancing and all that, I'm into media.
Okay.
I do media, but primarily arts is where I reside.
Okay. Generally.
Yeah. So I don't have that career path. It's not easy. Like
Of course not, yeah.
like Pella would say, I've suffered because of this art. We suffered. And when I mean I've suffered is that sometimes, the compound effects is what you benefit from. So when you keep sowing until it gets to the level where you can actually benefit from it, is when you start seeing it. So sometimes when you're tilling the ground, it will look like there's nothing. But right now, in today's world, there's a lot of leverage.
Right.
A lot of leverage. And that's why I run an NGO called, I don't know if I should say it here, but ArtCan.
ArtCan, okay.
Yeah.
What's it about?
So it bridges the gap between art and any other sector.
That's interesting.
Yes. So art can bridge science. It can bridge parenting. It can bridge education. It can bridge, think of anything. What is the best way to so how much does Hollywood spend on their budget? Now, how much does US pour into Hollywood as part of their budget? So now we know every let's say Gen Alpha, not Gen Alpha, every millennial baby boomer believes that America is one of the strongest country in the world because that social construct has been created
for that generation
through art, through their movies, through several. Now, K-pop. Why did they come up with K-pop? Because this is a way they could fast track and promote their culture and their
globally.
Yes. So art is one of the ways or methods we can use to actually penetrate people. Yeah.
Okay.
So
I cannot wait to talk about your faith life because I know that people will not be people today because of without his faith life.
Yeah.
When I say faith life, I mean he's a very, very good Christian. He's we're all Christians, but even as Christian, there's somebody that's follow that to say spirituality is in a different level. If you're a pastor today and they bring a madman to you and you don't have the grace to deliver a madman, they will beat you. You as that pastor, you go collect bites. You get. So if you have 1,000 and you want to buy for instance a bag and that bag is above that price, you cannot afford that bag. That does not mean that bag will not be sold. You get, there's somebody out there that can afford it. So he's a Christian that I always look up to. We've been friends for a while. Our conversation is always about spirituality and this. Which brings me to, was there a moment you had to go back to God and say, I messed up? Hold on. How does your faith help you recover from bad decision? Because I'm sure there are moments you have to go back to God to say, I messed up, Papa God, have mercy on me. But how does your faith help you recover from bad decisions? So I want how it does, yeah.
There are a lot of times, time and time. Like it's almost like a daily thing. Like I'm like, oh God, did I live to your standard today? If Jesus was walking on earth right now with me, will he behave the way I behaved? So I have a disposition that says that I can, no matter what happens, move the earth, move the heavens, move seas, I will always choose to come back to Jesus. I will always choose to stand strong in my faith. So it means that even if, God forbid, but imagine I go and I kill somebody and the deed has been done. Where should I run to? Human beings will always persecute. And I've learned that. So I have a culture of always running back to
Jesus.
He's the safe space. Yeah. So I've had countless of those moments where, oh God, have mercy on me. Oh, I didn't do well in this situation. You trusted me in this situation. See how I behave. I can't believe that I let you down. It's, if you look at scripture say when you sin, it was talking about the fact that this
you have done that
will happen.
Yeah.
The thing is that you come back to him. So you choose not to be rebellious. See, I always use the prodigal son. He says that After he had departed, went, suffered, spent all his money, bad friends.
Chop life.
After his money finished, the friends ran. They were nowhere to be found. He alone now was now the one with the pigs feeding from the swamp, right?
Yeah.
But he said something, and that's like a key note. He proposed in his heart that I will go back to my
father's house,
and I will say, Father, forgive me, for I have sinned against you. Now, the scripture now shows that when that prodigal son turned back, because scripture says that he came back to himself and went to his father saw him afar off and ran to meet him. Now, this is what the devil does. He always sells lies. He always makes you feel like, and that's his game. That's what Satan means. Satan means the accuser of the brethren. Like, that's what he does. He accuses you. So, but God is now on the other hand saying that, see, I've paid the ultimate price. What you need to do is to come back. So if you have that culture of knowing that mercy is always speaking for you, and your safest place is not running away from him, no matter what, is running back to him, is one of my key mantras.
Okay. So, if I get it right, your faith has, going back to Jesus, Jesus has always saved you from every bad decision that you've always made. So guys, if you're wondering out there, how do I get over this? He has said it, and I agree with him because that is also my strategy. Running back to who? My father, has always been, that's the safest place. It's not, he never judges me. There's no judgment. There's no, you come, you soak in, and you come back stronger. Before we conclude, Favour, let's talk about a very important part of this conversation, which is the mental side effects of making bad decision. When I say mental side effect, I mean bad decision that we regret. You have a way of figuring out your own decisions. There are a lot of people that do not have a way. I've been in a space where I've been trying to figure out a lot of stuff lately, and for some weird reason, I feel like I've been having that same challenge back and forth. If not for Jesus, if not for God, I don't think I would have been able to. I don't think it would have been so hard for me to maintain this current chapter that I'm in, which I know will pass. My question is, how do you deal with regrets when you realize you made the wrong move? Like, I know you go back to Christ and all of that, but how do you honestly deal with regrets? There are people that go straight into depression. They start eating food anyhow. There are people that just lock themselves inside the house. They don't do anything serious. The mental effects can be a lot because you have two options. Either you keep moving and believing, or you give up. And when you give up, the devil has what? Won. He has isolated you. He has literally won. So how do you deal with regrets when you realize you made the wrong move? Because you've made the wrong move already. There will be regrets. Consequences will be. So how do you deal with that regret?
When you just asked this question, I just thought about how that it might look cliched when I actually said the answer. Right? Honestly, but one thing I do is retreat.
Right, okay, retreat.
I retreat. And retreat sounds like a vague word, but for those who know it, understand what I mean. But when I say I retreat, is that I withdraw from the pressure and the stress and the circumstance of that
current circumstance.
Yes, I withdraw, and so I isolate myself, not in terms of being lonely, but I take charge of my environment, what I listen to, what I study, what I see, how I now. So it changes how I see the whole situation. I now see it in a better light. I choose to now see the good that can come out of this. And, this is why I can freely say that, my past, these drugs, this and that, happened. Because when I see people, maybe I see someone that is in trouble. Honestly, when I talk to them, when I go back, sometimes I feel like I've flogged them because I feel like I've flogged them. There's nothing you can tell me that I cannot give you an insight of. In fact, it has that weight of which I bring, of which my words come. So I do that isolation. I pray and I just stay alone with God.
In His presence.
Yeah. Just stay alone with God. Because Now, if you just choose to regret doesn't change anything.
At all.
Regret cannot change what you've done.
Mm-hmm.
Regret cannot change what is happening, what will happen. It won't.
Mm-hmm.
So if I say I regret that I didn't pay my house rent,
Yes.
it doesn't solve the fact that my house rent has not been paid, or probably the landlord will push me out and probably I'll be homeless. It doesn't change the fact. But if I now say, okay, this is the situation. Okay, I've done this. This is the circumstance. What can I do about it? And what can I do in the future to ensure that this doesn't happen? You see, what I realized for me, I realized that when people start reaching out to me for assistance, let's say financial, I know that means this is season.
Mm-hmm.
It's just literal. That means
the things are becoming.
Yeah,
okay.
This is season, and it always happens because there are seasons where people actually have finances, and then there are seasons where
abundance. Everything is chilled.
So so what do you do at that moment?
You plan for dry season.
Exactly. So when I take this retrospect, I'm able to see clearer on how everything is being. So I just chill with God, with the word, with the message, or someone who has gone ahead and I list it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I like this episode because it's not like the usual. We're not just making you guys laugh. We're not just making you guys, we're not just delivering entertainment. This episode is that one that you would watch, think about, like reality check. This is between you, Big Sam voice rather, and God. We're not coming to talk about them. You know, there are instances that we roll like that, but this is your own moment. And to light it up a bit as we conclude, Ome, let's play a quick game. The game is finish this sentence, and I'll start the sentence and you finish it. Should we shoot?
That's good.
All right. Guys, flow with me. Success is dash.
Success.
Whatever comes to your mind first. Success is what?
It's a choice.
It's a choice. Okay. Failure is what?
Failure is a teacher.
Failure is a teacher. Let's go. Faith is dash.
Faith is a way of life.
Okay. Discipline is dash.
Discipline is trust and integrity.
Trust and integrity. Money is dash.
Money is an asset.
An asset.
Tool.
Okay.
It's a tool.
Love is dash.
Love is a choice.
It's a choice too. Family is dash.
Family is first.
Family is first. A bad decision is dash.
He's a teacher.
The lesson life keeps teaching me is dash. You.
The lesson life keeps teaching me is more.
There's more.
Yeah.
My answer for that is always show up.
Always?
Show up. Because when you show up for yourself today, tomorrow will show up for you.
No, for me, there's more.
There's more. Right now, your biggest dream is what?
My biggest dream. When you say biggest dream,
I mean, there's that in your mind that you always really want to achieve.
My biggest dream is to live out my full potentials. A lot of people die. No, seriously, I know a lot of people that can do more, better.
Yes, they're no more.
Yeah, some, sad. They are no more. Some nowhere to be found. I saw one when I went to Zaria for my production. I saw one guy on the streets, and I knew that guy as one of my primary school.
So was on the streets?
Yeah, secondary school. And the guy was mad.
Ouch.
Literally begging on
Zaria?
Yes. And I came back to Abuja and I thought about it. I said, I mean, it could have been anybody. And so that guy now is gone. Or for now, there's still hope. So imagine plenty people that didn't make
circumstances. All of the potentials they have.
Imagine people we know with the kinds of potentials they had that are nowhere to be found. Not because they are somewhere hiding and preparing and building, but life has literally dragged them, beat them. Kept
so to
them.
live out your full potential.
Yes.
That's very powerful, Ome. And like I always say, this is Big Sam voice. And with my conclusion, I like to read my conclusion because that way They feel it.
The conclusion of the whole matter is that love. What does Ecclesiastes say? This is the conclusion of the whole matter.
Okay. Okay. And this is the conclusion. Like this is the conclusion that Big Sam says, that Samuel Jacob says. And I like to read the conclusion. So follow. Everybody wants success stories, but nobody talks about survival stories. Behind every successful person is a list of decisions that almost destroyed them. Bad decision don't end your story. They edit it. Your journey proves something important. You don't have to be perfect to be progressing. If you are watching this and you have made mistakes, no problem. That mistake cannot kill you. Welcome to the human experience. That's what I'll say. The real victory is not in avoiding bad decisions. The real victory is what? Surviving them. This is Big Sam Voice, and it's a wrap on this episode. See you on the next episode. Bless.